Hello, friends. Welcome once again, everybody. This is the Improv and Magic Podcast, and I'm your host, and hopefully your friend, LD Madera. Everybody, this is another episode that I'm really excited about. Today, my guest is one of the current top magicians and an international sensation, and his name is Javi Benitez. Javi is a master of sleight of hand, but more importantly, he performs with such a high level of charm, beauty, and passion. What Javi presents aren't simply tricks, they're pieces of art. He hails originally from Sevilla, Spain, and was a student of some of magic's biggest influencers, like Arturo de Ascanio and Juan Tamariz. He's a regular performer at the world-famous Magic Castle in Hollywood, and has performed and lectured at various stages in Las Vegas and around the world. He's also performed on many national and international TV shows, including Penn Teller Fool Us. And yes, he also won his very own Fool Us trophy, and since then has been described by Penn Teller as the best sleight of hand artist they've ever seen. Javi and I got to speak just after he finished another performance at the Magic Castle, and I have to be honest, this was one of the most moving and inspiring conversations I've had here on the podcast. I was truly moved and touched by so much of what he said. My mind was so blown after listening to him. This is a moment I will definitely treasure. And I hope you will as well, my friends. So why don't we get to it? Here is my guest, Javi Benitez. My friends, this is such a thrill because I'm joined by someone who is absolutely amazing. He is Javi Benitez. Hi, Javi. How are you?
Hello everybody. Hello, Luis. It's a pleasure to be here with you today and all the people that are listening.
You just got done performing at the Magic Castle. How did that go for you today?
Well, it's a blast, after 5 years not coming because the dark days we call.
Yeah.
Yeah, finally I'm here back, and it's like my second home, so I feel really good. And also people has, I can feel their love. I can feel their how supportive they are with me. So it's really heart touching.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Was it difficult for you to kind of go through the pandemic knowing that we couldn't go to theaters and audiences couldn't gather to watch magic?
Absolutely, like everyone, I had I just lost all the gigs that I had, and I was going to make tours around Asia, around here, and around South America, and also Australia. And in 1 year, in 2020, I was going to do, I was totally full of my schedule was burning, and then suddenly everything started, to just disappearing, and yeah, and it's been like that. So I didn't even recover, like, full again after that, you know.
Yeah. Well, but it's great that now we're finally back in a little bit more normal times. And it's just great to see you back out into the world and performing again. And I'm sure we've all missed you too.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's everything is coming back, so that's great. I'm really happy now.
Wonderful. Wonderful. You do seem like one of the most happiest people I've got to meet.
I try to be happy all the time. That's yeah. Otherwise, this world makes no sense. So, and I think something talking about magicians and magic, and not well. I don't know, but I think magicians should have a mission. Not only entertain and that's it, or that can be, but I want to think about what's my mission here in this world, being a magician. And one of the things I think are plenty, but one of them is trying to make this world a little better to live. so there are so many dark things, and so as bright as we can be, the better for this world. So this is what I pretend. No, I'm a magician that I try to bring happiness. I try to bring, astonishment, to make, well, a little better world for everyone.
Hmm. Yeah, that definitely comes across in your performances because I can't imagine watching you and not smiling. You just have that wonderful effect where you share that joy and love with everyone. Is that always such a big part of how you create your performances?
Well, I don't really think so. Actually, my Requiem to Ascanio is kind of dark piece, even though can looks funny, but I'm not pretending to be funny. I'm not a comedian that have like an script or many jokes in my show. Everything suddenly happens, and it's just a question of attitude that I just want to enjoy and to play with people, and but I don't really have like a script of what I'm going to do. It depends on the people if they want to play with me, and I try during my shows. I have, for example, at the Magic Castle, I have 20 minutes. So at the beginning of the show, it's like I'm doing my casting. So I'm looking at the people. I ask them, for example, I ask them also if they are single or not, and I start playing with that, trying to be beyond magic tricks. No,
Mhm.
magic tricks is something that help me to express different things, but I cannot forget that we are a group of people there all together creating something. I don't want to be just on a screen. I want to be with them and to make them, engage them into the show. So I cannot be very tight in my script. You know.
Wow, I really love that. That's so wise. That's so wise. You're originally from Spain.
Yes.
What part of Spain did you grow up in?
I born in Sevilla. Sevilla, I think now is more well known than before. It's a very ancient city, very lot of history there, since the Romans and much before also. So it has a very roots, and long connections with, also with magic, and especially with cards also. So since Sevilla was the capital, the economical or capital of, for business during the years of, 1500, 1600, 1700, Sevilla was a big capital. So many things happened there, and since the pack of cards, were at that time, there, so many cheaters and hustlers, well, people that play, no, gamblers and all that were taking place on those times. So there is a long story, and that I think we will discover more and more. For example, the other day, a friend of mine discovered that there is engraved cups and balls in the cathedral in my hometown in Sevilla from 1487, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. And so, well, I'm researching the story of my area also, but I think, well, Sevilla is very nice, and I invite everyone to come and to contact me, because I am long time there, and I love to meet people there and show my city. So I'm very happy with that.
What's funny? I was born and raised in Miami, and the street I grew up on was called Sevilla Avenue.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, so we have a bit of a connection here.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
How was life like for you when you were growing up?
Well, very good. I mean, I even though my parents broke up, when I was like 8 years old, but the first Well, my first years were in Canary Islands, beautiful islands there. Then I moved to Sevilla, and then, well, my life has been good, comfortable, and we didn't have, like, we were not rich but not poor, so good, a good family, and my parents are great, and so I could study in good schools, and I did my university in Madrid. I did advertising and graphic design, and then I could study also in New York in SVA and School of Visual Arts, and Parsons School of Design. So I was going to be a, creative director, and I did for 10 years. But I've been always, you know uh, in love with magic. So so I call myself a hobbyist. I love magic, but the problem is that I love so much that I need 24 hours to think in magic. So that's why I quit from my job to be 24 hours a hobbyist magician.
I'm so jealous of you right now for that.
Yeah. But yeah, I am right now 47 years old. So talking about my life there, well, I couldn't be more happy. We grow up in a farm at certain point, and then in the city of Sevilla, and then I traveled to Madrid, and then to New York. So I'm very privileged. I cannot say anything else than that.
Was it very difficult for you to kind of leave that career path behind so you could pursue magic, or was it just very easy for you?
What's well, talking about economy and talking about the business was really hard. Was really really hard. Talking about quitting from that world was very easy because I was not happy with that world. So I was pretending to be nice with my father and all that. And at a certain point, I said, "Okay, I did it this, but not anymore. No, I don't really like so not like. My problem is that I love magic. I think that's the only thing, and also I like people be nice, and in this kind of businesses, I maybe I was not lucky enough, and my boss were not very nice. So for example, I remember the first time that was a problem. I had an invitation to perform at the Magic Castle, and I had vacations. I had a one almost 1 month vacation, and they didn't want to give me the permission to go to the Magic Castle, so I missed that year of performing at the Magic Castle, even though I had my days. But they didn't manage to have another person that could be, instead of me. So I was forced not to do that. And then next year I was invited again, or 2 years after that, and then I just quit. I wanted to perform at the Magic Castle, and so they were not very well organized, and that's not my fault. And I said, okay, I don't want to depend on others people organization. I want to organize myself. So when I started doing magic, the first years were really, really tough. That's the truth. And then I started performing on the street, and then from there, on and on, and then getting better and better. Yeah.
What was it that got you interested in magic in the first place?
The topic of magic, or what's
Magic in general, like when did you discover magic, and what was it that got you really interested in magic?
well, that's very strange. I think no, I'm sure. My first memory life is a magic trick. So I was like 2 years old or 3 years old, and my father did a card trick, a card transformation, and I remember that. I never forget that. So since then, I've been very interested in magic, and every time I watch a magician, I was paying a lot of attention. Was like grabbing my attention. And then when I was 11 years old, my brother started doing magic. My brother Pablo, and I started with him, and then he moved to juggling, and I was still with magic, and that was yeah, since 11 years old. It also is a coincidence, the time with Tamariz, Juan Tamariz, the famous Spanish magician, performing there on TV many times, and René Lavan and Jose Carroll and many other great magicians. So I was watching those TV shows, and then Tamariz pull out a course in magic also. So I was also buying that course in magic and learning magic. And well, in the 90s, there were a boom of magic and magicians, a new generation of magicians, thanks to Juan Tamariz especially, and also later on with Arturo Ascanio that we learned. So to me, magic was like a career. So I took like the first 10 years in my magic was like studying, more than performing, and then start performing and studying at the same time. I never stopped. So until now.
Juan Tamariz is definitely a big legend in magic. Did you ever get an opportunity to meet and work with Juan?
Absolutely. I moved to Madrid. I moved to Madrid because I was invited by Arturo Dascanio and Juan Tamariz to go there. So I met Juan every Monday. We were all night long talking about magic, learning from him, and sometimes going to his home and all night long talking and learning magic and watching some videos, classic magic, and he was, making comments. All magic 100% of the time, every single minute, and it was so strong my connection there that my university, I had a problem because I couldn't go to the exams and I was late every day, and they didn't want that. So I talked with the manager, no, of the university, and I told him that I was learning magic with Juan Chamariz also at the same time. And then this guy that knew Tamariz very well, he talked with all my teachers, and they changed the hours for me to do the two careers at the same time, magic and advertising.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm so curious. What were some of the things that you learned from Juan Tamariz?
Well, not there is so many, so much. He's a genius, and both Juan Tamariz and Arturo Dascanio were genius. And Juan is, well, what I learned. One of the things that I learned. Okay, to answer your question, one of the things is what's important, an important quality in a human being. And I learned from Juan that one of the most important qualities that a person can have es la capacidad, the capacity of judgment, la criterio, tener criteria.
Mhm.
Okay, that's one of the most valuable things that one can have, to distinguish between, not between what is good and what is bad. That can be easy, you know, but to have a very fine sense of criteria means to make a difference and to see what is good and what is better, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes we magicians do this technique or this other technique, and we don't know. Well, you have to know which is even better, or
Mhm.
in a show, I do this way, or I finish with this. I can finish with many tricks. I can finish this way or that way. Well, which one is better than the other? Why this trick I should do with this gimmick or with this technique and this other and not with this? To know what is better. That's to me the key. And both Tamariz and Ascanio had this criteria to know what is better, and I think it's something that you can learn. You can, once you have in mind and you think about it and you make an analysis of everything, well, you can, develop your criteria. And it's very helpful, very helpful in life to have criteria to be with people, to be nice with people, to not screw up, relationships, to respect, you know. So that's to me one of the most valuable things that I learned, maybe indirectly from Juan, because he never teach you much. But yeah, but he said, this trick, what do you think? Well, I like because of this and this and this. Yeah, but the weaknesses points are this and this, no? And this method has this strength points, and so you have to think and analyze why I'm doing this in this way. Well, because is better for this, and for this. So, if, for example, a method is good because the spectator can't touch the deck, uh, and you have other methods, but the spectator cannot touch the deck. So it's better the one that they can touch because they that avoid any use of a special or trickery or something. Okay, so I'm going to use that method, even though the other one has a technique that I love to do with a very strange palm that is very deceptive and this and that. Yeah, but you are not connecting with people with that technique, so it's better do this other one that connects you with people and they feel that they have control and all that. No, so these kind of things has been very helpful, and I think it's interesting. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, you definitely specialize in close-up magic. I love your work with cards, and you do a lot of great close-up magic with other objects as well. What is it about close-up magic specifically that you really enjoy?
The audience being being to engage the people, um, make people being part of the magic. You know, to me, magic is a character. There is a play. When I perform, what I to me, uh, everyone and everything is a character. So I'm a character. The audience are a lot of characters. The pack of cards is a character. The effect that happens is a character. So the effect can tell me that I'm scared, or tells me that I'm curious, or tell me, it depends. Each effect has its own character and makes me react in different ways. I try to avoid to do an effect just because I can do it. You know,
Mhm.
that message that is is very common nowadays in internet and TikTok and all that. No, it's like, oh, look, what can I do? And they put faces and this and that, but it's at the end is what Dave Vernon used to say is, there is nothing more boring than a young handsome guy doing something cool. It's like, there is no contrast here. It's like, of course you can do that, of course you have time to learn that, and of course, but what what can you, or what do you have, um, to tell me more than that you are cool? I don't need people say you are cool. I don't need that. I That's not what fits me. So to me, what I want is just to share and to have fun and to enjoy and engage and being part of it. So to me, everything is a character. When I ask the spectator, or when an spectator is helping me, I really listen to him or her, and that's why I don't want to have any script, because the script is writing at the same time it's happening. I have a guide, but I don't respect much the guide, because I really want to enjoy the moment with them and with magic. And sometimes the effect is a surprise, sometimes it's not. And today, for example, I did three shows, no, and the same people came. More or less the same people came for the first show and for the last show. And in the last show, they went, and I was listening, and they were like, "Wow, it's incredible! What a master!" Because even though it was the same show, I feel that was totally different. And that's a compliment, great compliment to me. It's like, yeah, that's the idea. It's a different group. It's a different moment. I feel different, so it's gonna be different.
I love that. I love that. You mentioned a moment ago that you're a character and the audience is a character. And I'm curious, how much of yourself do you put into that character that you present to the audience?
100%, not 150% or 200%. And this is also something that I learned from Tamariz. Tamariz is a beast in communication. Is a beast as a magician. I've never seen, well, few of them, Pepe Carroll and Juan Tamariz, but not many people are so well communicating and throwing energy to the audience like Juan Tamariz. So I want to learn that, and to me, that's Tamariz said that he's more Tamariz when he's performing than when he's in real life. And I agree, and I try to do that. In real life, I cannot, you know, maybe do some jokes or certain things because people can think that I'm, a little nerd or stupid or whatever. But in my show, I can do whatever I want. I can say whatever I want. I can whatever. So, answering your question, I'm like 150% more me in a show than in real life.
Hmm. I definitely see you being influenced by art in a lot of the magic that you present. How much of an influence is art for you when you create a piece?
Well, you know what? My father, that was a civil engineer, he is the person that reads more, the person I've met that read more. He was reading every day at least 3 to 4 books at the same time. And he finished those books in less than 1 week. He read the Bible. He read like 3 times. Quran also 3 times. That he was even not Muslim or anything, but he read 4 times. He had a huge collection of books, and he read them all. He read really crazily. So my father was very into knowledge. Okay, and so since I'm a kid, we have been traveling around the world with my father and going to museums everywhere, in Paris, even in Florida, even everywhere in Egypt, in many places with my father because he loved to travel. So so I've been in museums all my life, and I've been watching paintings and sculptures all my life. So to me, it has been something natural to be in connection with art, because magic is kind of young art, in the sense of modern magic.
Mhm.
I think the cinema and art forms has been much more studied than magic in certain areas. So I try to apply those knowledges to magic, to find my own path, to find new ways of doing or creating. pieces. For example, the Requiem to Ascanio, the piece that I present in full as the first time. I created that piece in 1997, and I presented in full as in 2017. So uh, 20 years later that I created. And I didn't create that piece to fool magicians or to fool Penn and Teller. I created that from one point of view that I learned from Ascanio. That is, we have to try to do magic even for magicians. Or, as Ascanio would like to say, we have to try to create magic even for laymen. So it's like opera. Opera music is for connoisseurs, it's for people that knows, But if it's a good opera, everybody can see the opera, can enjoy the opera. But if you know what is it about, and you know how good, how well they sing, or the music is, much the better. You enjoy more. So to me, doing some magic just for laymen and don't taking care about details about these kind of things that people that appreciate, well, is something that I don't like. I want to do something really, that has every word you see it is good, is nice, is beautiful. So I don't remember your question, but I was getting close. Sorry.
Just we were talking about how art influenced your magic.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been reading many books about art. I've been trying. I was talking about the Requiem. Imagine in 1997, I was doing this piece of magic with music, no words, and only cards, and only one effect that is, changing color and color and color, pretending to say that magic talk by itself. That we don't need to talk over magic. We just can leave magic happen for 5 minutes, and you can car magic, especially because, well, we could see that in stage magic, no musical acts, but with cards or coins to have a musical act at that time was something very rare. Was something that not only very rare. I never saw at that time a musical close-up ad beside one Tamariz trick with, but it's not a trick. It was making ribbon with cards and colors. So to me was something to prove that magic is an art, or not only a comedy. Comedy magic is the one that is valuable, but any other kind of magic can be interesting, no? So yes, I think today that magic is not only entertainment. Magic can be many things, many things. Whatever you want it to be, it can be. It's a very rich art form that has many sides, and the only one that can decide what is magic is the magician.
You are definitely very good at your technical skill, but at the same time, your performance quality is really, really good as well. And it's so beautiful. Which do you find more importance? Making sure that the technical side of it is perfect, or making sure that the performance quality is perfect?
Here depends in which area you want to move, to be. It depends on the audience that you want to be with. It depends. You want to be a professional performer. You want to perform at the Magic Castle, or you want to perform more at a bar, or you want to perform more on the street. It really depends. We can see. You can just perform on internet and get a lot of money with that, and don't even do a one live performance. So it depends on what you on where you are. In my case, what I like is both. And technique has to be as good as possible, you know. But in reality, when I'm performing, I try to do more simple every time. Angles used to be very bad. So if you have a trick that you can do only in certain situations, that's not very good because you cannot practice that trick every time. And the less you practice something, the worse you do it.
Hmm.
So I try to have tricks that I can do everywhere, and that technique is not a big deal. Also, because if once I get older, it's gonna be more difficult to do those techniques. So I have to improve also the non-technique things like mnemonica or any other tricks with digital. And of course, to me, presentation is everything, but not presentation, communication, to be connected with the audience. That's to me the main thing. If that has a word, because presentation means many things, no, it's very difficult to know what is exactly presentation. But to me, the main thing is to be with the audience, and then the rest. So if you do a trick that makes you think about the technique or make you think about maths or whatever, that trick is not helping you
Hmm.
because you cannot connect with the audience at that moment. And I don't like that. It has to be 100% connection with the audience. And then the technique, if it's going wrong, it's going wrong. If it's going right, it's going right. Who cares? But you have to be with them, and you have to be, connected. And people, it's just a trick. It doesn't really matter what if something goes wrong. It's all about the connection with the audience. So for that, you better do clown classes. You better do, any kind of communication art form that are there classes, and learn, and going to museums, and watch the painting, and why, and see the figures, and see, how they do, the sculptures, and these movements, these, contortions, and all that you can apply to your performance, and enrich your performance, because you are not only a magician but you are a sculptor also. So it's different how you move, how your position, and your face, your eyes. Are many things involved there. So the masters of the past has been thinking a lot about how to attract attention in a body motion, or position of the body. So we can learn that from art.
Yeah, I definitely see you incorporating a lot of movement into your performance. And especially when we watch you on Fool Us, there's definitely so much great movement happening. Why is movement such an important thing for you to incorporate in your magic?
Well, it's a lot because it's communication. Is the problem I learned in New York many years ago, that magic books usually, and especially since coin magic books, and are about the hands, only the hands, and the technique with the hand. And if you read since the 50s the books, and all the picture are only the hands, most of them, they don't take care of on the body, except Slidini. Slidini books, the picture are his whole body, because he was conscious about his body and how important was the body movement in the deception of magic, in the technique, and many things. So body language is something that we have, and without body language, it's just a puzzle. It's just, okay, look what I can do. But if I see a performer, I want to see his relationship with magic. What's his relationship with magic? And I don't, I don't want to see someone with very skillful, pulling cards out of his hand. Okay, that's just technique. And if I want to see technique, I go to see a juggler.
Hmm.
Better than a magician. And the coin goes here and there and here and there. Yeah, it's cool, it's great, you are cool, you love, perfect. but what's your connection? What's I want to see you. I want to know you. So that's what I learned in New York, and I think I try to apply. It's not only about the cards. It's not only about the trick. It's about me. It's about you. It's about the cards. It's about the world. It's about the mission of making this world better and enjoying. So that's it.
That is so beautiful. I really love that answer. And I love what you say about connecting with the audience. And I think you're absolutely right. I think you can be really skilled at a good card trick, but, if you're not connecting, people will just go, well, that's a cool card trick. But, watching you definitely perform in such a high level where we can't help but be so drawn to you and so connected with you. And that's what I find really beautiful about your performances.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's my goal. Well, it's about beauty, Art has been the classic art was about beauty. And what is beauty? Beauty is communication. Beauty is when you communicate in a clear and beautiful form. And that's it. That's all. I also learn in design, and maybe this is useful for some people that are listening. I learned what is design, because we magicians have to design our shows. We magicians are designers of our tricks. We are like directors, movie directors. I tell you where you have to look, what this means, what this card means, what this other card means, why the four aces, or why the four kings, or why your selected card, or whatever. So I have to be a guide, but mainly, what I have to do is to design the trick for you to understand what is the trick about, and you get the emotion. And but what is design? Well, design a chair, to design a table, to design a billboard. What design try to do is to make you feel comfortable getting the information of it. For example, a good design of a chair is a chair that you know how to sit and you feel comfortable.
Hmm.
That's a good design. If you have a chair and you don't know how to sit on the chair, it's not very good design. If you have a table but the table is bended, so everything you put on the table fall down to the floor, well, it's not making my life easier. And if we see an ad or a billboard and it's well designed, we know what they say. For example, is this name of the Lion King? Okay, and it's about a lion. And where can I see it? Well, I can see in this theater. And where can I get the tickets? Okay, I can get the tickets here. Okay, that's a good design. But maybe sometimes we see an ad where they put a big number, telephone number, huge telephone number, and we don't know what they sell. Why I'm going to call there if I don't know what they sell? And then below, no, this is a lawyer. Well, I just tell me what kind of lawyer it is. Use the space to tell me what kind of lawyer, and maybe I call if I need it. So make the design easy for me. Give me first the information that I need first, then give me the second information, then the third, then the fourth. In magic is the same. We And this is connected with what Vernon used to say, no, confusion is not magic. So we have to design and to make things beautiful, easier, comfortable, to understand, to enjoy, and to relax. That's all, like sitting on a chair or on a couch, just being good. And there are some tricks that are so complicated that it's like a bevel table that you put something and fall on the floor. It's like, just make things comfortable. I just want to enjoy. I don't want to be, working with my brain, especially when magic asks for the spectator a work on the brain all the time. So we must to be very careful in the design to make it beautiful. That's it.
Hmm. Do you ever get nervous before performances?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I get nervous before the performances, during the performances, after the performances. To me, has been an ease sometimes. I don't know why I'm nervous. Yeah, uh, all the time.
Mm.
That's to me the worst, and at the same time is something nice, but it's something that you have to deal with. I don't like those people that doesn't get any nervous. There
Really?
are people that before a show are talking to me and hey, this very relaxed, and they are not concentrated in what they are going to do. Or I don't really like that. I feel a responsibility every time I perform, and I want to do well, and so I get a little nervous. Yeah, that everything is correct and then everything is going to go well. Especially when you, like me, have not a tight script because I have to improvise a lot. And when you play with improvisation, you have to have many things prepared, many outs.
You have a very big achievement, which not a lot of magicians have. In 2018, you became a winner at FISM, Fédération Internationale Société de Magie.
I got a prize in FISA. I didn't get like winner of, not champion of FISA. Okay,
Right.
yeah,
Well, for me, it's still a big deal. To get anything from FISM to me is a big deal, I think.
it is. It is. Yeah.
But how did that make you feel to receive this prize from such a well reputable worldwide magic competition?
Well, I don't care much about prices more than they are useful to create. They push you to do it very good, and prices are good for reputation, for especially to get jobs, to be hired. But beside that, I don't feel I really need, and I don't want to be influenced by a price. I've seen people influenced by the price they got. People that say I'm the best in the world because, especially we have in Spain Pepe Carroll, that he was an incredible magician, but he kind of quit from magic when he won the Thyssen prize because he thought that he was the best in the world.
Hmm.
So prices are kind of double side, and can be something not very good for some people.
Hmm.
I've had some friends, good friends that I really trust and were great, and we hung out, but they won prizes, and I couldn't talk with them anymore. They didn't even answer to me anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they got famous, and maybe they think, I don't know, talking to me is not what they want, or I don't know, but I don't want that happens to me. So to me, these prices are, well, like a guarantee that you are good for others, so people can sell you and can say, hey, let's hire this guy that has a Thyssen, that he's a Thyssen winner. But beside that, I'm very careful with prices.
Hmm. I really like that a lot. And it's something that I also believe in a whole lot. The need to keep yourself grounded and keep yourself humble, I think, is a very important thing. And, you've achieved so much and you've done so well. But I love that no matter what, you don't seek the prizes, you seek the connection more than anything. And I love your ability to keep yourself humble.
Yeah, to me, when I was in Thyssen, I just wanted to share with the magicians the act that I did in Fulas. Some people asked me, and on internet they said like, oh, this is camera trick or something, this cannot be done in real life. And so I said, okay, I go to Thyssen and I show them that it's possible to do it in real life. And so I did it, and they gave me a prize. That's great, but I especially just wanted to share with the community the trick in life.
Well, I think out of all the accomplishments that you've achieved, I have a feeling that the one you probably are the most proud of is being able to fool Penn and Teller.
not, not really, no. I'm not very proud of fooling Penn and Teller. I don't think. No, no, no. I went to that show and I didn't even know that they had a prize. I had no idea. I refuse all those kind of shows that got talents and all that. And they called me because they saw that I was performing at the Magic Castle, and they called me, hey, can you want to perform for Penn and Teller, this and that, and I didn't know what it was about, and I said at the beginning, no, I don't like Got Talent shows, so I don't want them to say something nasty to me or something like that. And then they write to me many times and they say, no, this is a different show, they are gonna be nice, this and that, da 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 da. I said, I don't want to be thinking about fooling anyone. I just want to do magic. I don't pretend to fool anyone. Or this is magic is not about fooling people. Magic is about entertaining, about engaging, whatever, but not fooling. That's puzzling. That's I don't know that. So I refused at the beginning, and they insist, and then I saw the show, and then I agree, and I thought that was gonna be good for my professionalism, but not thinking about the price because I didn't thought about a price. I was thinking, okay, I'm going to have a video very well done, and I'm going to promote that video.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'm going to share this piece of magic, the Requiem, that I've been doing for people, but I do like for 20 people each time. So if I can do it for 1 million, well, at that time I didn't thought even a million. If I can share for 100,000, then 100,000 that I've shared with. And now less people left to see this act. So I just went with that in mind. And if you see the video, I am as surprised as one can be because I had no idea and I didn't even know the price. And Taylor was trying to give me a price, and I didn't even care because it was not in my mind that there was a price there or anything. When it appeared on TV, it was I at that morning. I entered very early and I entered internet to see if the video was on air, and I saw like there were in 3 hours were like 250 or 300,000 views in
Oh,
the video,
wow.
and I was like, oh my god, shit, what the hell is this? And then wow, yeah, it was crazy. That day was absolutely crazy.
When I saw you on Fool Us, and I don't know if anyone's ever told you this before, I love the routine. It's so beautiful. But I also loved your facial expressions during that routine because it's definitely you showing us you. And that's what I think can be easy to lose in magic because I'm sure there's a lot of magicians that just kind of do the same thing and the same thing and the same thing. But a lot of times, a lot of magicians forget to show us you. How do you manage to keep showing us you? How do you make sure the audience sees Javi every single time?
Well, trying to be naked, trying to be natural and not care about what people think about you, just being yourself. Another person that I really like is one eccentric clown called Thomas Kubinek. Thomas Kubinek is a friend of another friend of mine called a juggler. There is a group of clowns called the Gizmo Guys. My very good friend Barrett Felker, I was in his house and in New York, and came Thomas Kubinek, an incredible clown. And the good thing about him, or what I learned from him, is to be natural. Just be natural. Just be you. Don't worry. Don't worry if people think that you're stupid. Don't worry if people think that you're nasty. Don't worry. Just be you. Be natural. Relax. Listen to them and they will listen to you. And that's it. We all have something, could be not good, but also that makes us unique. If you are always smiling, always pretending, oh God, I cannot do that. I cannot stand with. pretending to be something every day. I am what I am, and I'm changing every single day. Today, I'm different than tomorrow and then after tomorrow. So just don't worry about it. Don't worry. You do whatever you want, and people will love you. If you don't you don't hit people or do something
Right,
else. If
right.
your heart is nice, well, in my case, I really want, since I'm very young, I want to be nice, and I think I'm nice. I like people. I love people. I care people. So what do I have to hide? I don't have anything to hide.
You know, in improv, there is an expression that's become very popular, and I think it speaks exactly to what you're saying. The phrase is, you are enough.
Hmm. I've never heard that, but yeah, absolutely. If you have a rich life, if I think also you have to have a rich life, no? Going to cinema, going partying, to hang out, meeting people, talk with people, enrich your life. That's batteries. Going to a theater to see a play, that's recharge your batteries. So move, get out of the phone, get out of the TV, get out of your home. Just live your life. And if you live your life strongly enough, you have many resources there to express. Yeah, that's it. That's it. The secret is very simple: to travel as much as you can, being alone, get lost in the world, rediscover things, whatever, but something. Otherwise, you have nothing to tell.
Hmm. That's so wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And Javi, I have one more question for you. What is the one piece of advice that has served you well that you want everyone else to hear?
Okay, there is one that comes to my mind right now, and that advice came from an advisor for Fulas, and is my dear, lovely friend Michael Close. That helped me a lot, and I still use that advice even to the last Thyssen winner in Car Magic. That in an interview he said that uh, he had in mind my advice, that actually is the Michael Close advice that helped him a lot, and he won the first prize in Car Magic. And is the advice is very simple. And before I appear, I did my appearance for the show in Fulas. He told me, just relax and just remember that you are Javi Benitez. It's the same thing as you said. You are enough. You are enough. Don't worry. You are enough.
Hmm.
What we want to see is you. Don't worry. The rest doesn't matter. So I think this is very helpful for everyone. Before you go to perform, just think you are Luis.
Hmm.
That's all you have to matter right now. There is no time for anything else. There is no time to check the props. There is no time for nothing. Just remember that you are who you are. That's it. And get out of here and perform and be you. That's a great advice. So thank you, Michael, for that advice.
I have learned so much from you today. This has been so wonderful. Javi, muchísimas gracias. Thank you so much for your time, and I wish you so much love and success for the rest of your life, my friend.
Thank you so much, and thank you everybody for listening. Thank you very much, Luis. Love you.
All I can say is wow. I hope you were all inspired as I was. Javi Benitez is truly an amazing man, and I want to thank him so much for chatting with me today. Let's all thank Javi by visiting his website, javibenitez.com, to learn more about him and his work. And when you have a chance, I encourage you to watch him on YouTube, especially his performance on Penn Teller Fool Us. I promise you will not only be amazed, but you'll also be moved as well. Thanks everybody for listening in today. Feel free to check out my YouTube channel, LD Madeira Magic, and be sure to also visit my website, togetherbymyself.com, to learn more about my solo improv show. Enjoy your day, everyone, and remember that you are special and important. I'm LD, this is Improv and Magic, and I'll catch you next time.